Some people have started comparing Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu with Awolowo. I repeat, some persons have started comparisons between Awolowo and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now the question here is that between Tinubu and Awolowo, who is the greatest leader that have ever come out of Yoruba land? Greatest politician, greatest leader that have ever come out of Yoruba land. Now let's look at Awolowo. Awolowo, a great administrator, a technocrat. Tinubu, a great politician. Look at the two differences. Awolowo, a great administrator, technocrat. Tinubu, a great politician. Awolowo command the support of 80% of the Yorubas. I repeat, Awolowo command the support of 80% of Yorubas. Tinubu command less than 30% of Yorubas. Like the loyalty, the support. If you come to the Southwest, not many people like the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But when you talk about Awolowo, over 80% of Yorubas love this man and support him. Now, I want to talk about legacy. I cannot point out Tinubu's legacy now. After his political journey, we now look at his legacy. But you know that of Awolowo is defined, education, Yoruba civilization. Tinubu is a logical politician, not emotional. I repeat, Tinubu is a logical politician, not emotional. Awo was a liberal politician. Imagine an Awolowo. Look at Nigeria today. He was contesting for presidency. He had a candidate, a vice presidential candidate from the southeast. Look at Tinubu contesting for presidency. He never cared about the Muslim ticket. He felt like me using this Muslim ticket would get me that power. So the comparisons has gotten to another level. See, people are actually attacking themselves on social media over Tinubu and Awolowo. Let's look at reactions. Now, somebody says comparing Tinubu to Awolowo is an insult to the great Awolowo. He empowered Yoruba people. He discouraged feudalism in Yoruba land. He said the children of his drivers will be educated to ensure they don't become his children's drivers. Same can't be said about Tinubu's achievement. Now, between Tinubu's style of administration or politics encourages feudalism, which means a certain people will be rich while the rest will be poor. Look at Lagos and other states in the southwest. Look at the ones they call agberos and everything. Nowadays, young people don't want to learn work, skill. Everybody's looking for fast money. That is the kind of politics that's been introduced in the southwest. Now, going to school, people are discouraged going to school when they see people like Sego and Solomo having to attain certain peaks. So a certain set of people will be the rulers. But Awolowo is saying anybody and everybody can amount to anything and everything. That is what this man is saying. Now, somebody says Awolowo made mistakes by flying a South-South ticket and refusing the North. Yes. Alliance with the North is helping Tinubu today. The Southwest had alliance with Northern Nigeria, but that was not the case for Awolowo. That was a bad politics Awolowo played at that time. As if he had aligned with Northern Nigeria, at least maybe he would be president at a point in time. But Tinubu had to look at the alliance called Buhari come. We can have this alliance. He initiated the alliance. He played that politics. And it got him to where he is today. So when we talk about legacy, being a technocrat, and having the love of Yoruba people, that is why Awolowo. But a go-getter, somebody who is a politician that knows how to get into power, that understand politics, Nigerian politics, that is a Tinubu. He made mistakes by flying a South-South ticket and refusing the North. But you can't technically say he wasn't great. He united the sons of Oduduwa into a single block and installed all Southwest governors. His undoing was refusing to play the deceptive game. Difference between Awolowo refused to play that deceptive politicking. Tinubu is a master at that deceptiveness. Look at the last election. Look at the campaign. It do like say leg they pain, hand they pain, body they pain. Like say one die today. Some Northerners were clapping. Wow. I saw Kwankwaso. There was a report, a video where Kwankwaso was saying, my friend Tinubu, I hope your health, you are okay, you are fine. Take it easy. He was using style to mock Tinubu that this guy, maybe as they do now, if he no last. That deceptive game, Tinubu play it to the fullest. But that is why he became a better politician than Awolowo. What is politics? Let me ask you. What is politics? I've said it before. I will keep on saying it. You have 4 people. You want to share 7 oranges amongst 4 persons. You will share it so that there will not be fight. That is politics. Ability to share 7 oranges among 4 persons. So you need a kind of gaslighting, a kind of propaganda, a kind of marketing, deceptiveness, convincing, to make sure that you are able to share these 7 oranges amongst these 4 persons without fight. If it were 6 now, they'll be having 1.5. But this one is 7. Yes, if they were 6, they can have like, this one is 7. How would they be able to get equal? That is politics. Now, so that is the mistake Awolowo made. He was not that technical. Somebody else says, Awo's politics brought so much development to the Yoruba land in particular and Nigeria in general. Awo played the kind of politics that socio-economically revolutionized Yoruba land. He's not egocentric, selfish. Note, he is not egocentric, selfish. You can see Tinubu. I can see egocentrism in Tinubu. I can see the selfish, whatever it is, because I wonder, these guys, they have companies upon companies upon companies upon companies upon different ventures, while we have Nigerians that don't have anything to eat, don't have anything attached to their name. They amass wealth. Yes. See, the reasons why you see a Jagaban is having issues with Aregbesola is egocentrism. Is Babanla, nobody else should drag anything with him. Now, there's an issue he has between him and Shey Makinde. He wants to impose, I will not call the person's name. Shey Makinde wants his own. Babana president, but still, he didn't interested in Lagos state affairs. He wants to police everybody and everything. He wants to be the alpha and omega. So that's what his man is saying. Awolowo is not egocentric or selfish. He invested in his people and touched millions of ordinary lives. Let's move on. Reactions. Somebody else supporting Tinubu says, okay, he's not supporting Tinubu. He said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu times 10 will not come close to Chief Obafemi Awolowo's political philosophy and depth of knowledge. Time and chance come mainly into play when it comes to winning politically, but it doesn't invalidate the distinctive and timeless philosophical prowess of the supreme sage. Okay, they had a different time. They did very well at their different. You don't compare then and now. The time Tinubu has now is different from that time of Awolowo. In fact, it was the Awolowo and co that set the foundation for the Yorubas. The Yorubas were technically sidelined from politics. These guys fought tooth and nail for the Yorubas, set the foundation, the education, legacy, and everything. The Yoruba civilization, they set it on pace. So they are very, very important. That time is different from now. Yes. Okay. So when it comes to winning politically, Tinubu is there. But it does not invalidate this distinctive and timeless philosophical prowess of the supreme sage. When it comes to philosophy, when it comes to oratory, you don't compare Tinubu to Awolowo. Me, I can personally say that one. Listen to these guys, especially those people, those politicians of the 1960s and 70s. Listen to them address and speak. They don't even speak, most of them, they don't speak intonation. They can speak their language, but they don't speak, the way they speak as if they don't know how to speak their language. Yes. Okay. Somebody says, Awolowo is a great politician. Awolowo was a great politician, but operated at a different era. People who were already adults by 1960 had views about other Nigerians' political parties and even ideas on how Nigeria should be, which are very different from the people in 2023. Today, we are not aware politically compared then. If people are really aware politically, my brother, Tinubu no get that influence. I did tell you. If people are conscious politically, the way people were conscious then, they are way Ganifao me and Onanuga, they say Tinubu na drugs and blah blah blah. They go down sideline Tinubu. You know, most of our heroes now, the Abiola and Co. If you really knew what this guy did, you would never even call them hero. Most of the people that they package for us as heroes, if you knew their faults, they are human beings. If you knew their faults, you said go to throw speed, say, God forbid, this one be my hero. So if people were like politically savvy, politically conscious, the way they were conscious during the time of Awolowo, my brother, they go down, even till now, like I said, Awolowo commands 80% of Yoruba loyalty and support. Tinubu commands 29% or even 30%. Because Yorubas not to like him. If you are Yoruba, you like him. I'm telling you for a fact, most Yorubas, maybe now they are going to be supporting him because of this ethnic kind of politics we are playing in Nigeria today. Yes, he's a Yoruba person. Let's support him. They can do that because of that. But like him as a person, no. Somebody says, I concur. Bola Ahmed Tinubu avoided the pitfalls of Awolowo. The great Awo running mate in 1979 was a Christian from the southeast. Imagine. That was a wrong political calculation. I'm not saying that the southeast would not, like, when you look, see, I've said it that politics is not emotion. Politics is your strategy. That strategy employed by Awolowo then did not really yield a lot of fruits. Looking at the NCNC and Azikwe giving what they wanted to do in the southwest. So it was not a good calculation. His running mate was a Christian from the southeast. Imagine, Christian, southern ticket. The second attempt, the same Christian ticket, but northern Christian running mate. Just imagine the choices. Yes. When you look at the structure, the south is one of the northern Nigeria is still the most powerful region when it comes to politics. But PBAT, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is working on how to dismantle the very foundations of northern politics. I'm telling you, I've said it, if there's a free and fair election today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu can have more votes in northern Nigeria than southern Nigeria. If there's a free and fair election, everybody knows that we are running a free and fair election, or it is a electronic election. With all the, let all the political parties do their campaign, you see that APC will struggle to win elections in the southern part of Nigeria. Northern part of Nigeria is if Tinubu wants to win election, like on a fair election, he needs northern Nigeria. Northern Nigeria is still powerful politically, but the work is on ground to make sure that the southwest will be the go-to place. If you want to be anything in Nigeria, you have to go to the southwest and submit yourself for them. You pay allegiance to the southwest then before you can become anything in Nigeria. That is the reality today. Yes. So, okay, somebody says, Asiwaju is successful today due to the long-term struggle for power which began during the days of Awo. And these days of power struggle by the Awo and Co. has yielded results. It is helping the likes of Abiola and Awolowo. Yes, Yorubas were deliberately sidelined from power. It's not a matter of politics. It is conspiracy. It was conspiracy against Yorubas then. That's why MKO was dealt with harshly. Not only MKO. Many other persons were also dealt with as a result of the pushback from the people then, the politics then. When you look at this critically, these are two of them are great leaders. Awolowo, Tinubu, they are great leaders. After Awolowo, nobody even thought, we were thinking, is there any leader that is going to emerge? When it comes to morality, I can't say about that. Some people don't agree that Tinubu can be compared to Awolowo. They call him a drug lord or whatever it is. But when it comes to the politics, leadership, you see, politics in Nigeria, there's no honor. Politics in Nigeria is not a fair game. Christian politics has some kind of morality. But the Bible says, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent will take it by force. So politics, you don't use morality to measure politics at this point. For instance, now Nigeria is fighting with Biafra. You have to kill somebody because you want their land or you want to overpower them. So if you want to look at morals, why would you overpower somebody? Okay, why would you snatch power or seize power? Why would you kill somebody? Because you are fighting wars. So when it comes to politics, let's look at strategy. Let's look at the strategy being used. So when you look at it critically, people don't like Tinubu because of his background. And I've told you that if there is political consciousness, Nigerians or in the Southwest, down to the marketplace, people understand politics. People are politically educated. If there's political education, like high political education, Tinubu will not be where he is today. Now go on the streets. If you want to sample opinion, vox pop, go on the street and start asking people questions about the government. You know that people are lost. People don't even know what is going on. People don't even know what is going on. I told you before earlier that when you go to, it's only Lagos, you go to newspaper stand, see people talking Tinubu, Nigeria, blah, blah. Go to other states and go and see what people are saying. People are just disconnected. All they need is just, it should be better, it should be better, it should be better, this and that. So that is it. Another problem, after Tinubu, who next? Who next? The leaders of those era, you cannot compare them to the leaders of this era. Different time and different scenario. Yes. Different time, different scenario. Awolowo did well when he was in his time. Tinubu is doing well in his own time. But you cannot compare then and now. But there's a bigger problem. After Tinubu, who next? Who else? Who is going to take over? Who's going to step in the shoes of the Yoruba people? That is where restructuring comes in. We have said it, I will keep on saying it, we'll repeat ourselves over and over again, that Tinubu has to restructure Nigeria to save the Yoruba people, because there will be a clapback if Nigeria continues to remain. This grudge where Tinubu don't create left, right, center. You see, what happened to the thing that happened to Awolowo made some people say, this Yoruba people, this one, blah, blah, blah. We are not going to allow do this and that. You see how it affected MKO. So the opportunity that Tinubu has, having to galvanize the Yoruba people, politically, like position them, economically, position them wella, connect them to spread them on the tentacles of all Nigeria, seizing control. After that, he needs to restructure the country. Because if he doesn't, somebody steps into the position of power, becomes the commander-in-chief of armed forces, and is a northerner, as a Fulani. They will never forget how they were being battered by Tinubu's administration, and they will tag everything to the Yoruba people. And they will systematically dismantle the Yoruba, their cleave or their hand or their whatever, their clinch on whatever it is, or the positions they have in Nigeria. And it is not Tinubu and his family that will suffer it. Not be the worst thing. It is not Tinubu. It is the people. It's the people that will suffer it at the end of the day. So personally, I think I stand with Awolowo. That is my personal. I see Awolowo as a great leader who has impacted the lives of people. The foundation is set for the Yoruba people, is what they are reaping today. I'm telling you, is what the education, the free education has gone a long way in stretching the Yorubas all over the world, giving them a notable. You see, and a Yoruba is somebody who is a research. He can do research. That's what education is all about. He's inquisitive. Research, he read. I'm telling you, if you look at Nigeria today, who are those that can do propaganda much more than the Yorubas? Who are those that can do propaganda? Do you think it's easy to do propaganda? You don't think anybody can just do propaganda? No, you cannot. If an educated person does propaganda, my brother, that propaganda is sophisticated. If an uneducated or ignorant person does propaganda, it doesn't make sense. That person will be making noise. Yorubas educated, although it is declining now, because when you look at the population of youth in Yoruba land, very few people are, like the feudalism of Tinubu feudalism, very few people are doing education like extensively. when you look at those in Yoruba land, is declining. But when you look at those that are carrying out propaganda, they are Yoruba people. Activism. Do you think it's easy to do activism? Okay, if it's easy, go try it now. If it's easy, say if you do activism, go try activism, go see how far. You know, say no be my or no be child, according to some people. So the Yorubas are very good at that. I'm telling you, look at Shore pulling this Nnamdi Kanu. Let's march on Nnamdi Kanu. Look at what he's doing. He's a Yoruba man. How many Igbo people can pull that stunt? Understanding the demography, the political demography Nigeria is today, the nepotism and the hatred and everything, the Yorubas have found a way to insert themselves in Nigeria, and in a way they are controlling and steering the ship of the country. So as it is, my brother, the structure of Nigeria is the thing. Yoruba had great leaders. Igbos, I will not even talk about Igbos now. There will be a later time I will talk about Igbos. We got our leadership wrong from the foundation, very wrong. The Yorubas had their own in a way. Even the Akintola and Awolowo had their differences. Later on, if you have read about Akintola, you know that if the Yorubas played by Akintola's politics, they have gone very, very far. They have gone very, very far, I'm telling you. If they are played by Akintola's politics. Awolowo was a liberal person. He was liberal. He was, oh yes, everybody. Free education, he extended it to everybody. Although Tinubu, when he was Lagos State Governor, he did the same free education and extended. Somebody said he learned from the pitfalls of Awolowo. And what he's doing is Yoruba Locon. And he's unapologetic over that. And you can see he's making waves. That's why people from Igbo leaders, you're afraid to identify with IPOB. You're afraid. What would they say? Average Yoruba man will tell you, say, Abi Oduduwa. Nothing will happen. Abi Yoruba nation. Nothing will happen. They go tell you to your face. You cannot do anything. They are proud of it. But you see an Igbo man, he's afraid. He's afraid to identify with his people. But the people that he's afraid to express himself to, they know him. They already know who he is. They know him very well. So it's unfortunate. We don't even need the argument now between Tinubu and Awolowo. At least when they had the opportunities, they made an impact. May God help Nigerians.